All of this we should know, guys. All of this should be reviewed for you guys. All right, question 1. Am I recording already? Yeah. So question 1 says, find 3 angles, 2 positive, 1 negative, that are coterminal with the given angle. Remember that what coterminal means? It just means I want to be in the same location. So if I'm at 30 degrees, what's another coterminal angle? We'll go another revolution. So 30 degrees, and then that would be 390 degrees. And I got the 390 from 30 plus 360. Some of you guys will get radians. Some of you guys will get degrees. It just depends. So here we got a radian. And you don't necessarily have to know what quadrant that is. It would be nice if you did. 10 pi over 9 is just slightly more than pi. It's slightly more than pi by 1/9 of a pi, or pi over 9. So that's going to be in quadrant 3. You don't have to know that. It would be nice if you did, though. Okay, so I take the 10 pi over 9. They said they want 2 positive. I don't see 10 pi over 9 in any of those, because that is, well, I guess that's not a coterminal, because that is the angle they want. So I'm going to add 2 pi to that. If I add 2 pi, that's going to be a coterminal angle, because it's going to execute in quadrant 3 as well. Does that make sense to you guys? So common denominator, I'm going to make the bottom a 9, so that means I make the top an 18. 18 divided by 9 is still 2 pi. 18 plus 10, let's see, that's 28. So 28 pi over 9. So I'm going to look for 28 pi over 9. If I don't see it, I'm going to delete. Delete, maybe, 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 maybe. All right, so that only helps us with 1. 1 is deleted. So now you got a 25% chance of getting it right. Next, I'm going to add another 2 pi to the 28 pi over 9. So 28 pi over 9 plus 2 pi. Again, I do the same thing. Denominator 9, numerator 18. 18 divided by 9 is still 2 pi. 28 plus 18, 28, 38, 48, 46. So this is 46 pi over 9. And I start looking for that. Nope, maybe, nope, maybe. So now I got between 2 choices, C and E. So now they want a negative. They said well, we just found 2 positive. Now they say they want 1 negative. So I'm going to start again at the 10 pi over 9. And instead of adding 2 pi, I'm going to what? Yeah, I'm just going to subtract. So I subtract, make the denominator 9, make the numerator an 18. So 10 minus 18, the difference is 8. The 18 is bigger, so it's going to be negative 8. So negative 8 pi over 9. And I start looking for that. And the only answer is C, so there it is. I put a little happy face, and we're good. Did all that make sense, guys? All right. Question number 2. It says, name the quadrant in which the given conditions are satisfied. And they tell you that sine is negative and tan is negative. Remember, in your quadrants here, that's quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Use Roman numerals. I guess it'd be all right if you use like number 1, 2, 3, 4, but Roman numerals is the best way to describe those. So where is sine negative? Remember that sine is like saying the y value. So sine is negative in quadrant 3 and in quadrant 4. So that just means sine less than 0. That means we're sine negative. And then it wants to know where tan is negative. Well, tan is negative. Remember that tan is y divided by x. So that ratio is negative in quadrant 2 because the x is negative and the y is positive. So tan is negative in quadrant 2. And tan is also negative in quadrant 4 because the y is negative but the x is positive. So which one has both of those? Quadrant 4. Uh-oh. You guys okay? Yeah. Okay. Virtual class, are you guys all right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, making sure. Because the grade does matter. The grade matters, guys. We make sure we understand the concept. It doesn't matter as much as you guys think it matters, but it matters. How you perform on standardized exams, that's a pretty big deal. And I know that you're going to say it doesn't matter, but no, that one does matter, guys. Because if you can't pass your boards to practice medicine, then you can't practice medicine. If you can't pass your driving license test, then you can't drive, right? So if you can't pass your teacher certificate math subject exam, then you can't teach. So yeah, those standardized exams do matter, guys. All right, let's continue. Let P be a point on the unit circle where the terminal side of an angle theta meets the unit circle. Okay, that's fine. If P is in quadrant 2 and X is negative 3/5, evaluate the 6 trig functions of theta. All right, so the first thing I would do is draw a unit circle. They tell you that X is negative 3/5 and that you're in quadrant 2. So here's point P, if you want to label it. And here's my right triangle. At point P, that's negative 3/5. And we can calculate what the y value is. Let me put the P right here. The y value is 4/5. And how do we get that? Just by doing Pythagorean theorem, guys. 1 minus negative 3/5 squared. Now it doesn't matter that I put the negative inside the 3/5. You could have just left it as positive. So let's see, 1 minus, and when I square that, it's going to be 9 over 25. Common denominator, turn that 1 into 25 over 25. 25 minus 9 over, so let's see, so here's what we got. I'll do it over here. So you got square root, 25 minus 9 is 16, and then the denominator is 25. And the square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 25 is 5. So that's how we got the 4/5. All right, now that you know that, cosine, they told you that the x was negative 3/5, cosine's the x value. So cosine's negative 3/5. Immediately I see letter A, they put a positive 3/5 out. Maybe cosine 4/5, nope. Maybe, nope. So it's already 50-50 just by that. The next thing I would do is look at the sign. It says sine is 4/5. So let me look at the sign on this one. Where are you? That says 4/5, and the other one says negative 4/5. So that one's out, so it has to be letter B. And if you want to check it, cosine is negative 3/5. The reciprocal cosine is secant. Secant is negative 5/3. Yep. As you can see, the letter D here, they have cosine negative 3/5, but they have secant as a positive. So you can already see that would have been wrong anyways. So you could have stopped right there. If you want to check them all, go ahead. They work. Tangent is negative 4/3 because you have 4/5 divided by negative 3/5. Positive divided by negative is a negative. The 5's cancel out, and yes, you get 4/3, negative 4/3. So it works, guys. Any questions on that one? Is that a no? Oh, do you guys need
Yeah,
to?
that's a no.
That's a no. All right, question 4. Rewrite the following expression in terms of its reference angle. Underline the word reference, deciding on the appropriate sign, positive or negative. All right, before I even start, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just write this. So write this for yourselves as well. Cotangent of 154. I do not know what that number is. They do not want us to use a calculator. Actually, it doesn't say anything about a calculator, but don't use a calculator. If I were to do my unit circle here, 154 is somewhere, I don't know, somewhere like right there. And so here's 154. Cotangent is x divided by y. Is cotangent of 154 going to be positive or negative? What do you think, Rubio? Yeah, is cotangent of 154 degree a positive number or a negative number? Nah. Oh man, what do you mean you don't know? It's okay. Remember that cotangent is x divided by y. In quadrant 2, all my x's are positive or negative, and all my y's are positive. So a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So cotangent of 154 degrees is a negative number, guys. Who knows what that number is? It's just some negative number. So let me find out what the reference angle is. So to do that, you go 180 minus 154, and that's your reference angle. 54, 64, 74, so it looks like 26 degrees. All right, out, maybe. Oh, nope, that's 36, out. So it's between C and E. Cotangent of 26 degrees, well, if I just put 26 degrees right there, I know it's not perfect. Cotangent of 26 degrees, that would have been positive. Yes or no? But do I want it to be positive? No. So the one that will give me the answer is letter E. Because I need my cotangent 154 to be a negative number. Virtual class, did all that make sense? I can't, they didn't say anything, right? Uh-oh. Guys, are you guys ready for the next question or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, don't scare me, guys. All right, it says rewrite each expression in terms of its reference angle, deciding on the appropriate sign, positive or negative. So it looks like it's the same thing as last time. They gave me an easy angle. They gave me 5 pi over 3, guys. So all of you guys should know that 5 pi over 3 is in quadrant 4. So remember that in quadrant 4, so 5 pi over 3 is something like right there. In quadrant 4, cosecant is negative. Why? Because cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. And sine of 5 pi over 3 is some negative number. Sine is negative in quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So what is the reference angle? Well, the reference angle is this guy. You're only pi over 3 away from completing a revolution. 5 pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is 6 pi over 3, which is 2 pi. So I know I'm going to be looking for cosecant of pi over 3. Out, out, maybe, maybe, out. So it's between C and D. I know that cosecant of pi over 3 alone is going to be positive, but I do not want a positive answer. I want it to be negative. So the answer has to be C. Y'all doing all right? Okay. Did all that make sense? All right, guys. It says for the quadrantal angle pi, quadrantal, give the coordinates of the point where the terminal side of the angle intersects the unit circle, then give the sign of cosecant of the angle. If you don't understand what quadrantal angle means, it's just a fancy word for saying one of these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quad means 4. So it's just saying that it's one of those 4 angles. So it doesn't have to be pi. It could have been 2 pi, it could have been 3 pi, it could have been 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, 7 pi. All those angles are always going to be one of these right there. And then these here in the top, it's going to be a pi over 2. Let's see, pi, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, 7 pi over 2, 9 pi over 2. That makes sense, guys? Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just answer this question. Pi is located right here at 180 degrees. That coordinate is negative 1, 0. So I look for negative 1, 0. Out, out, yes, out. So it's between C and D. Next, we just answer the question. Well, we know sine pi. We know sine pi is 0. So I look for sine pi equals 0. There it is. So let us see. Cosecant has to be undefined because cosecant is a reciprocal of sine. So the reciprocal of 0 is undefined because 0 has no reciprocal. You okay, Agustin? Don't fall asleep on me, miss. All right, let's take a quick break. All right, guys, everyone get up. Everyone get up. Vámonos. You too, virtual class, get up because you guys are already falling asleep on me. Let's get up real quick. Go pet your dog. Go pet your cat. Get up really fast, guys. No, for real, get up. And stretch because if not, you're just going to fall asleep and knock out. You, Miss Jacobs, I think you're fine. I hope you're, you know what? You should put the audio for the whole stereo so your whole family can listen to all this awesome work that we're doing, Ms. Riley. So you should share the audio with your whole family. Maybe they'll like doing some math. Oh, okay, great. Hello, Jacob family. I hope you guys enjoy today's activity. Maybe we can all enjoy some math together. All right, guys, let's get back at it. Did that help getting up? All right, perfect. So here we go, guys. On this one, it says, find the exact value of the following expression. Do not use a calculator. I'm going to underline the do not use the calculator part. If undefined, state undefined. And it says arc sine, that little negative 1 means arc. Arc sine equals negative half. So what that means is sine of some angle equals a negative half. On the unit circle, this is very easy, guys. If you just draw a quick unit circle, your sine is going to be negative half in quadrant 3 and in quadrant 4. Are we still okay? So let's see. It does not happen at pi over 6 because sine of pi over 6 is a half. It's definitely not undefined, so take that out. Maybe letter C, negative pi over 6, because if I go horizontally like that, that's negative pi over 6. So maybe. And then I have a negative 2 pi over 3. Nope. and then a 2 pi over 3. Nope. It's not going to happen at those. Are we okay so far, guys, or no? And there it is. We got our answer. It's just negative pi over 6. I'm sorry, what? Oh, yeah, go for it. All right, question 8. Find the exact value of the following expression. So it says do not use a calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and write what this means. It means cosine of what angle equals the square root of 3 over 2. And yeah, there are 2 solutions in here, guys. But anytime you see it like this, you want the principal branch. All that means is give me the positive one. So that happens on the unit circle at these 2 locations. And so, yeah, I see one of them, pi over 6. And I do see negative pi over 6 there. And that one comes from, remember when we did the arc cosine, I told you guys to put a plus minus in the front. But you want the pi over 6 because of something called principal branch. Principal branch. And I know we haven't spoken about it yet. We're about a week away from talking about it. So if for some reason you were to answer negative pi over 6, just put in the text box that you got this question wrong, but you're confident that the answer is right, and I'll give you the points. When we start talking about inverse functions, you'll figure out why they want that one. It's the same thing with this one, guys. It says, where is arctan equal to negative 1? So that means tangent of some angle equals negative 1. So if you were to draw the unit circle, you have a negative 1 in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 4. And why is that? Because in quadrant 2, your x and y have the same magnitude. It's just that the x is a negative. And in quadrant 4, it's the same thing, but the y is a negative. So negative square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. And in quadrant 4, square root of 2 over 2, comma negative square root of 2 over 2. So the answer that they're going to be looking for, guys, is the one on the principal branch. So they're going to be looking for answers. And don't worry, you will understand this when we talk about inverse functions. You're going to want answers between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So the answer is a negative pi over 4. This is from the principal branch. Now, if you get it right, but they count it wrong because you did not choose an answer on the principal branch. So if you would have done this, let's see, what's another one that's correct? That one's not correct. 5 pi over 4, no. This one's correct. So if you would have done this one, that is also correct. Negative 5 pi over 4 is an answer. The better answer is negative pi over 4. So I guess to make a long story short, what's the principal branch? It's the one you hit first. See, this is the answer you hit first. So that's why it's a negative pi over 4. Same thing with this one up here. Well, actually, on this one up here, you always go counterclockwise first. So this is the one that you hit first. And the reason why I don't count the clockwise one is because anytime you're doing an angle, you always want to go counterclockwise first. And I know what you're saying, like, which doesn't make any sense because on this one here, you didn't go clockwise. Yeah, well, on this one here, we were supposed to start at negative pi over 2. Negative pi over 2, and then we hit that one at negative pi over 4. So it's about this whole idea of principal branch. Relax. If you get question number 9 or question number 8 wrong, but you are 100% sure that you got it right, just put it in the text box on Canvas that you got it wrong, but you know that your answer is right, and I'll give you back those points. No big deal. Are we okay with those, guys? Is that a yes? Okay. I'm waiting for the virtual class, but no one's saying anything.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Don't fall asleep on me. All right, here we go. This one, everyone should get right. So this one, there's no excuse. This one, you get it wrong, and that's it. So what is, by the way, the word arc just means that little negative 1 there. So arc sine of square root of 2. So what that means is sine of some angle equals square root of 2. Well, guys, this is what? That's impossible, guys. Sine, the biggest it can be, is 1, and the smallest it can be is negative 1. The ratio of your right triangle opposite of our hypotenuse is never going to be larger than 1, and it's never going to be smaller than negative 1. It must be between negative 1 and 1. That's it. Square root of 2 is a bigger number than 1, guys. So this is not possible. If you were to try to do it with a calculator, it would say error or undefined. Does everyone understand why?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. And now they get easy, guys. These we're going to flow through them really fast. It says find the period of the following function. So what I would do is I would just focus on the origin here. Notice that the origin is a point of inflection going down. So let me use blue to emphasize that. So there's a point of inflection going down right at the origin. So I just start looking for a point of inflection going down, and I see it again right there. And that happens at pi over 2. So the difference between 0 and pi over 2 is obviously pi over 2. So look for the answer pi over 2. And there it is, guys. Are we all right on that? Pretty basic, right? All right, let's keep going. And I kind of feel like now they're just insulting your intelligence, because now they're like, find the amplitude. Well, yeah, we can do that. That's not anything big. So find the amplitude. First, I find the middle. The middle looks like it's to be the x-axis here. And then for the amplitude, all I got to do is look at the difference between the middle and the high. The high happens at what y value? Yeah, 2. So the difference between 2 and 0 is just 2. So the answer is 2. Does everyone understand how we did that, guys?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's keep going. So now it says, this one says, find the period of the following function. I would like for you guys to use logic. So let's see, what did we do last time? F of x equals a sine, open parenthesis, b, x minus c, close, plus d. So the logic says this. I have a half as your b, as a horizontal dilation. Remember that the period of your parent function should be 2 pi. Period of parent is 2 pi. That half does what? It does a horizontal stretch by what factor? Does anyone remember the factor? Horizontal stretch by a factor of? Ms. Jacobs, do you know what the horizontal stretch by what factor?
2?
Yeah, by 2, guys. Good job, miss. It stretches it by a factor of 2. So knowing that concept, you can just go 2 pi times 2 and you get 4 pi. And I know, relax, I can already see a lot of you going, Chavez, I just want to use the formula. I don't want to know these concepts. Well, I would like for you to know the concepts, but yes, you can get it with a formula. Here it is. I'm going to give it for you guys. I'm going to write it for everyone here. The period is nothing more than your b value, than your 2 pi value divided by the b value. So 2 pi divided by half is nothing more than 4 pi. Half goes into 2 4 times. So there it is, if you wanted to use a formula. Same thing on this, or actually this one's even easier. This one just wants the amplitude. Find the amplitude for the following function. Again, they're kind of insulting your intelligence. Look in front of the cosine or sine. I see that number there, that half, that's obviously your amplitude. And there it is, you just circle it and you're done. All right, look at question 15. Again, they want the period. So I look at whatever's in front of the x is your b. Now they did it a little differently here. Be careful, this does not move pi to the right. We'll talk about it when we get to the next one, because the next one is the one that they trick you. So that 1/2 pi is your b, guys. So if you don't, I don't like the way they wrote it, half pi. I would write it as pi over 2. But that's just the University of Houston for you. They like to write it with half in the front, no big deal. Half pi is the same thing as pi over 2. And if you don't like my method, relax. You can do it your method. Period is equal to 2 pi divided by pi over 2. 2 pi, keep, change, flip. 2 over pi, the pi's cancel out. You just get 4. So the period is 4. I would have just done it this way, guys. I would have said the period should have been 2 pi, and I would have just taken the reciprocal of pi over 2. Dilation by 2 over pi. So you multiply by 2 over pi, and look, you get the same answer, 4. You're right, Rubio? Okay. All right, let's keep going. It says find the amplitude. Again, they're insulting your intelligence. The amplitude's always going to be right in front of that cosine there. I have a number there in the front, so that's it, just that number. All right, this one. This one tricks so many of you all the time. Find the phase shift for the following function. All right, the answer is not pi to the right. If it had parentheses right here like this, that in blue, if it had that in blue, then it would be pi to the right. It does not have parentheses there, guys. I'm going to erase it. I need it to look like this. Excuse me. I need it to look like this. So I need to make sure that I need to get that x value with a 1 in the front. It's easy to do. Relax, I'm going to show you guys. Look how easy it is to do. You write f of x, 3 cosine, open parenthesis. I'm going to rewrite that 1/3 pi. I'm going to write it as pi over 3. I'm going to open a parenthesis, and I'm going to write the x value. So what did I just do? I just factored out a pi over 3. So write that down up to there and put that you factored out a pi over 3. And don't worry, guys. I'll upload this lesson so you guys can reference it. So if I factor out a pi over 3, so pi over 3 times what will give me a pi? Just a 3, guys. Close it, put a +2. Chavez, how did you do that so fast? Whatever you have the denominator is the number that's going to go in there. If you want to test it for yourself, so check it out. If you distribute pi over 3 times x, that's just pi over 3x, or 1/3 x, 1/3 pi x. Pi over 3 times 3, the 3's cancel out, and that's just pi. Do you guys see that? So now that you did it that way, now you can tell easily how many times it moves. How many times does it move? 3 to the right. So phase shift means horizontal shift, guys. Okay. And then again, question number 18. You guys have been doing this since you guys were in 7th grade. It says find the vertical shift. That just means how much does it go up or down. All you got to do is look for this number down there. So that -4 means that it went 4 down. And yeah, those, I don't see you guys having any problems with those because I think you guys have been doing that since you guys were in 6th or 7th grade. So again, so the next question, they tell you that they write it this way, relax. These are very basic. They're borderline a joke. So look, this is all you got to do, guys. I'm looking at all these equations, and there's A, B, C, D, E. There's a whole bunch of them. And oh my God, how am I going to decide which one's going to be? First of all, let's look at this graph. Where's the middle at? Where's the midline?
At 1.
Is that 1 or -1? I think that's a negative. Perfect. So look for -1. Maybe, maybe, nope, nope, nope. Look, you already delete everything but 2. So let's go back. What's my amplitude? What does it look like your amplitude is? What's the difference between -1 and 1?
2.
2. So I look for one that has an amplitude of 2. And there it is, letter A. And yes, your questions will be that basic, guys. They're not going to be hard. They're going to be very basic. All right, let's do another one. Look at the next question. Question 20, same thing. I look for my midline. So first, let's look for the middle. The middle looks to be, this one does look to be 1. Do you guys see that? It looks to be a positive 1. Delete, maybe, nope, delete, maybe. Again, I'm back to 50-50. Now, it's, if I wanted to take a guess, you have a 50% chance. Now look for my amplitude. What is the difference between a 1 and a 3? So then that means my answer must be B, because the amplitude is 2. Do you guys see how we did it? All right, guys, let's all come back.